Okay, and we're back. Still June 29th, 2020. That last one was going kind of long, so I like to cut it down because nobody's trying to sit. Hi guys! Hello! And nobody's trying to sit through 3 hours of blah blah blah. I don't care what it is. Well, I guess somebody is, but probably not for this. Anyway, so we're just going to continue the thoughts that we were sharing about where we are and how, so some of us, maybe many of us, are really concerned with the effect that all of the goings on in this place is having on humans, on humanity, and on all of creation. But on some level, I really don't know if the trees and the squirrels and stuff are knowing what's going on. What's going on in the world with the pandemic and the racism and all of that. So that's why we're kind of in this installment we're talking about the effects on humanity. Although by extension, of course, all of life is connected. We don't mean that in some airy-fairy new age way. This planet is our home, and everything on it, all of the life, we're connected. She is our mother. Earth is our mother to any creation or life that is existing here. And so through that we're connected in that way. But so we're really talking about the challenges that we're having to face, that we're meeting with at this time right now in the summer of 2020. And like we were finishing up in the last installment saying, so many people are they're really forlorn about it and what's happening and what might happen, and and so some have undertaken to assist those who are suffering because of just the anxiety of it, and in other ways too. I mean, there can be physical manifestations when people are under a tremendous amount of anxiety. I mean, being sheltered in and being disconnected from a way of life that a person has become used to, and for them, in their mind, relatively happy with, just thrown into this brand new, it can be quite overwhelming. And so whether we fall into that category of people where it's like, I gotta believe what my institutions are telling me because that's all I've got, or what my peers are believing, that's all I've got. So that's going to be hard, because there's also this kind of feeling inside like all is not well. But I'm just going to stay focused on the rhetoric, and hopefully we'll get through this. So whether it's those type of challenges we're going through, or the challenges of stepping up, suppose you could say, and saying, you know what, I don't want to see people suffering like that. And if they're suffering physically because of the anxiety, or emotionally, mentally, they're just shaken. People are they're shaken. But it's challenging to want to come forward and help alleviate some of that anxiety for people, or to help alleviate some of the physical ways that the anxiety is being manifest, or in their emotion, and the emotions are really, really high and just zigzaggedy all over the place. If you know any other human being, you understand what that means. And if it's someone who, of course, it's true that the people that are closest to us, well, guess what? When it's time for them to explode, guess where that explosion is going? Right toward. And so that's really, really hard to deal with. People, when they're feeling shitty, they're going to say shitty things. And we got to be careful if we're trying to help, to step out of that old way. We were talking about this last year, maybe the year before. We got to get out of that taking things personally type thing. We have to, because that's only going to fuel the fires of emotion and their anxiety. And anxiety is going to just go up. And now you've got two people fueling the fire. That ain't going to work. So really, really hard to keep in mind that it's the energy, it's the shitty feeling, it's the anxiety-ridden energy that is being exploded out and upon us when we're in those situations. It's not the person themselves. Maybe they're saying really harsh, hurtful things. We have to concentrate. We have to concentrate. Whether you're praying, God, I need Holy Spirit right now. You're praying to Allah, or you're praying to whatever. You're asking your guides, come in here. I'm about to punch somebody in the face. We have to, because this is a whole different level. This goes beyond a little piddly personality that we call me in this place being offended, getting their feelings hurt, their toes stepped on. It's bigger than that. We don't want to add fuel to a fire when people are suffering. We need to be able to look right at that person and look in their eyes and understand what they're saying or how they're behaving or whatever the experience is. That's just what's deep inside, trying to get out of there. It needs a release. And we have to just realize it. It's really, 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 really hard to do that, but we got no choice at this point. There's no looking back. There's no other choice. Either you're going to make the situation worse, or you're going to at least keep it from getting worse. At best, we're going to do the thing that we set out to do, which is go ahead, throw all your daggers at me. Go ahead, pour the oil on me, light the match, throw it up, do whatever you're doing right now, if that is helping you to heal or helping you to deal with it. And I'll stand here and I'll burn up and I'll bleed out if that's what it takes. You see? What? That's what it's at now. It's well beyond talk. It's way beyond talk. It's been way beyond talk. Talk is cheap. As far as, I want to help. No, well, help then. Help. Help means whatever it takes, you see. And of course, we're not talking about, we're not talking about standing somewhere for an hour, just letting somebody just dig their heels into us about all of the things about us that they're, it's not about letting yourself being a punching bag, but what it's about is realizing when that situation happens, you just let it happen for a matter of minutes. Let them do whatever they need to do. Feel how they're feeling. It's coming out. They need it to come out. Just allowing that to happen for a few minutes. And then when it's just like, okay, now this is just, and then when we feel ourselves, because at some point you're going to feel it. It's going to rise up in you. It's like, when you feel that, say, you know what, I'm gonna take a walk. I'm gonna step away. I'm like, you know what, let's just agree to disagree, or whatever it is to squash it or to leave the situation. Nobody's asking us. No one's asking you to just be a punching bag just because, for an hour and a half, just sitting there being belittled and disrespected like that to no end. That's not that, no. But when people need to release from, to turn that pressure valve in themselves, we're saying, okay, I'm here for that. But you got a few minutes. I'm not going to sit here for all night long and listen to this crap or whatever, but what it is just beyond all of that. Is just understanding that there are things happening that we cannot discern with our senses. We cannot really articulate it even on a recording device. We can't exactly what's going down, but it's energy, right? What did Tesla say? You want to understand the secrets of the universe, something like that? You think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? That's everything. That's what it is. So we don't look at the person like, I can't believe you said that after everything. No, that's not them saying. That's not them. It's, you guys get it. I hope you get it. I've said this 300 different ways. And the thing is, because if we focus on it in that way, it ain't gonna work. We're gonna end up getting our feelings hurt and then ending up in a fight. So we don't want that. So that's about it. That's what we want to talk about today. And just know that this is just temporary. And temporary doesn't mean next week it's going to be done. It just means that in the realm of foreverness, eternity, it's temporary. What we're going through, experiencing, or having to face and meet up with, you see, and then also that we are being sharpened. Such expressions as being purified in the fire. We don't mean purified in a whole religious blah blah blah, but just we are being made into what we really are, even through the challenges, especially through the challenges. All the dross is coming up in us when we are going through experiences and being strong in the experiences and applying wisdom and understanding and compassion in the experiences. We are becoming more of who or what we really are. Okay, so that's a benefit. That's a benefit, and it's strange, I suppose, that it takes the really, really challenging experiences that sharpen us, that burn through the non-essential, not even just non-essential, the stuff that's pulling us downward and away from becoming what we really are. All the crap is falling away when we go through these experiences. All the junk is being removed, and it hurts. It's like surgery, man, without anesthesia upon oneself. So anyway, hopefully this has been encouraging, or at the least understandable to someone out there. And as always, we want to wish you much love now. Bye.